Welcome back again. In today's video, I'm going to be building a website template from scratch, showing you the step-by-step on how I build my own website templates. My name is Dean, I'm the founder of Base Supply, and the purpose of this course is to teach you how to create Figma templates that gets approved on the Figma marketplace. Without wasting much time, let's get to it. So, the first thing I've done is that I've already added my text styles and my color style. So I did this so that I won't have to take much time, so that the video will not have to be long. That's why I did this one first. So whenever you want to start your own template, you should have already planned that the text you're going to use and the colors you're going to use. You should already created the styles for each of it. So first thing I'll do is, let me create the different points for all of them. Tablets and mobile. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to put inside here is the navigation bar, which is the most important thing of all. First was navigation bar has to be there. Normally I usually create navigation bar, my own navigation bar from start, but for the purpose of this video, I'll be getting the famous navigation bar, then tweak it to my own style and liking. I'll just go here and get their own application. I will take this dark one because I'm actually doing, yeah. Now let me edit it. The template I want to create is a portfolio template. So this icon right here will be the human's face, one of the websites. I want to change this icon to it. Is this an SVG? Yes. But I don't want to be an SVG. I want it to be an image. Okay. Turn it to a circle. A zip. Let me get the image I want to use. I'll choose the image. Yeah, I want to use this particular one. Or let me use this one because this one has background. This one doesn't have background. That one is for, I'll use it for something else. It's loading. Yeah, let's use this one for the image. Let's take this stuff over here. Yeah, that will do it. And let me add the name. The name will be Lana. That's the name I want to use. Lana. Let me add the text style. As you can see, I want to add the text style to it. I added the body text style to it. Drag it back to this place. And I don't need this logo, so I'll delete it and give this a little bit space. Let's just make it 5. And that's it. Okay, I want to short this. I don't like the fact that the height is fixed. So I want to make it fit. Let me take you there. Okay, this one has padding. And then remove this padding here. Make it 0. Yeah. Don't worry. I know it looks messy. I'll fix it up. So I want to add the padding to the entire variant, to the entire navigation, not just this top side. So the padding I want to use is 15. So that to affect everything, yes. And I want to add a radius. I want the radius to be curved. And I use 50, yes, right, to curved. And I want this particular side, this into splits, so that this the logo will be one place and the navigation button will be one place. What I will use for that is space between, not start, space. Okay. And I want this color to be white. I don't want it to be this. Let me change the color. Let me use this text. As you can see, every text and every color I'm using, I'm attaching a color style to it. This one doesn't have, okay. Let's change. Leave this one first. Let me fix this one up first. I think I'm done with this. Let's fix this one. First, let me add a style to it. No, let me use this one. Okay, yes, this should be it. Now the navigation, but this is currently a test. I want to turn it into a button. So how do I turn it into a button? Is I will turn it into a component first. Let me name it button / button. The reason why I added this slash before I added the button is so that this first button is like I'm creating a folder. Then the slash and the any other stuff I write, it will be what will be on inside the folder. Okay, let me show you what I mean by that. If I go up here, you can see this is the button and this is the button this side. Okay. So I've created I've turned the text into a button, into a component. Now let me turn it into a button. First I will do is I will add an accessibility tag. The tag will be button. And then I will have an hover state. A button is not complete without having an hover state. Then I will change the color to white. So whenever someone hover on this button, the color will change to white. Let me change it. Let me name it to button. Let me also add a press state for mobile. Now I'm done with this one. Let's go back to the good. Now I don't need the rest of this, so I'll delete them. Then duplicate this to let's say 4 times. So let's just say okay. I didn't do something. Let's go back to this navigation test. Now, as you can see right here first, I cannot change the text of this stuff because I did not use variables. Now let me use variables so I can be able to edit it. Let me just go here and create a variable, plain text. I've created a variable for it. And now I can change the title. Let me change this one to about. Change this one to work. Let me make sure this style all fits content. Make sure this is a here. Let's turn this to fit content. Let's go back, okay, and turn it to fit content. Okay, then this one will be where will I put it? Let's say pricing. Make it fit content. The reason for this fits content so that if the thing will adjust, if the text long, the two will adjust alongside it. If you just make it fits content, if the details will overlap the frame and you don't want something like that. Do I need this one? Let's check something. Let me just make this block. So you keep seeing my eye going like this because I'm looking at some kind of like a reference to building this stuff from scratch. That's why I'm looking at the reference. I don't like the spacing. Let me make it 10. Yeah. Let's reduce this a little bit. I think, yeah. Okay, now I need another button, not a navigation test button, another kind of button. So I'm gonna be creating one. Let's do this. I'll create a frame first and then input a text inside. Let's name this hire me. Let's just close the cat. Hire me. Now let me change the background of this stuff. Okay, let me just change the text. First of all, add a text type to it. Notice I'm adding a text type to every single text I use, which is very, very, very important. Let me add this text type to it. Change the color to this desktop. Then input it here. I think that's it. Now let me turn this to this color. Let me change the color. And also notice every color, I'm using a color style for every color. I'm not just using random color like this. I must use a color style for every single color I'm using. And I will also naming. Yes, I've also named this stuff button. It's very, very good to name your frame. So don't just leave it like that. You need to give it an appropriate name. Layout. Let me add a layout to it. This is basically me just turn it into a stack. That's just it. I've turned it into a stack. Let me make everything fit content. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Then after I make everything fit content, it will now hug the text. I have to give a little bit space into it. And that's when I'll add padding. Let me put 10, the top and bottom 10, 10. And then the right and left, I'll put it 15, 15. 15, 15. Then let me add a little bit radius. I don't like how sharp the edges are. Let me make it 10. And we will look at that. And let's turn it into a button. First, we'll turn it into a component. Slash, and let's name it. Let's name this one main button. Main button. Now that's it. Let's add the accessibility tag. Should be button. And okay, let's add the hover state. So I just want the opacity to reduce when someone hover on it. So I just want to go to the opacity and change it from 1 to 0.7. And that's it. Oh, I didn't add a border to it. I need to add a border. A border. Let me add let me give the border the color of the border a text style. I want it to be line 1. Okay. Should be line 1. Now let's make it line 2. And let me just change this color back to sort of this white. Let me put it as let me just leave it at that white. I think I like it at that white. No one should just change it. Now let me change the text color. Okay. I've done designing this button. So I want these buttons to be able so that I can edit the text and the background color and the border color. So I'm going to use variables to do that. First, let's create the text variable. Let's create the background color variable. And then let's create the border variable. Okay, that's it. So I can be able to edit it if I want to. Let's get back. The reason why I did that was I don't necessarily want to use this color for this navigation. I want it to be white. Although okay, let's just drag it here and put it inside here. Nice, nice, nice. Mm, the button is kind of big. Let me change it. We make it a little bit smaller. So I will adjust the padding. Let's make this one white. I mean 5. Top and bottom 5. Then the sides. Okay, yes. And I want the radius here to curve to the edge. So let me just make it 90 so it will curve well. Think it's looking good. Looking good. Let me change the color. I should change one. I should also create a variable for the test color. I didn't create a variable for the test color. Okay, I just did. Let's name it test color. Test colors. Drag it up here. Good. Now let's edit this stuff. I want the test color to be this color. I want the background color to be white. And I don't want to have any color for the border, so I'll just remove the opacity to 0. Something is wrong there. Did I? Okay. All right. Think is let's change it to book the call. Book the call. That'll work just fine. This color. I want to change the color to the text color, and I want to add a border to it. Let's do this border, line 1 border. Okay. Okay, right now only the bottom border can show. I want I want the entire side to show border. Okay. Now that's good. Let's check. Oh, it affected the mobile. Let's change that. First of all, let's remove the radius in mobile. I don't want the radius in mobile. Let's erase the radius in mobile. And the spacing I want the spacing to be 16. Good. I think I should. Oh, let's leave it here first. Let's leave it here. So I think that should be it. Let's go back to the. Now this is too long. I want it to be short. I don't want the navigation to be too long. I just want it to be just like very short. All I will do is I will put this at fill, then add a maximum width. Yes. I'll make the maximum width 550. So the reason for this maximum width is so that whenever since this width is set to fill, it means it will stretch to the edge of the breakpoint. So this maximum width indicates that once the length of this navigation bar reach this 550, to just stop there. It will not stretch anymore. That is why it's like this. Okay. Now this would be, I want this to be sticky. This sticky means that if I'm scrolling through the website, this navigation bar will always be set to where I keep it. It will not follow the other stuffs to scroll. It will just stand by there. It's like fixed. I mean, it's like fears fixed, but it's not really fixed. It's sticky. So since now we're done with the navigation, I don't like, since it's sticky, let's add padding to the top, but it's too close to the edge. Let's make it 20. Okay, it's not gonna work because there are no longer there's no other stuff here. Let's start adding stuff. The second thing I'm gonna add is the hero section. There's a way I want to design this hero section. How do I want to do? Since this is a portfolio site, I want to write graphics. Okay, that's it, and I'll attach a header one to it. Yeah, this is the this is the font I'm using for this. I cannot like this font. I wanna lie. I really like this font. I want it to be all on caps, so I'm gonna rebuild it. Yeah, all on caps. I'm gonna duplicate it and change the text to change the other one to designer. Graphics designer. This is a portfolio website for a graphics designer. Okay. So I want it to be like this. I want to market it like this. Then at the center, I want to add the image of this guy there. So I'm gonna create a frame. For that, name the frame image. Remember, I said you need to name every single frame in your website. Let me keep it like this. And then I will go and add the image. I'll add this one. Since it's transparent, that's how I want the design to look like. Come on, man. Why are you wasting time to load? And that's it. Excuse me. Now I'm going to wrap these three things into a container. Wrap it into a stack. I'll do Control Alt Enter, or let me just read. Yeah, add stack like that. Then I will name it Q image and tests. Yeah, just like that. Now let me edit this a little bit. I don't like the way it is. I want the head like to come up a little bit so that this base size should be like equal to this text here. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to wrap this image inside another stack. I'll do that by adding a stack. I normally use the shortcut, but for the purpose of this thing, I'm just use this one. Name it to image. Okay, that should be it. Now, I'm going to add a bottom pad into it. Let's make sure this is. I want this to be fill and fill. Yes, this fill and fill so that the image would gum the container, which is this image. Now I want to add a padding to it so that the thing will push it up a little bit. But first, I'm going to increase the height. Wait. Okay. This top is not set. One thing I forgot to say: always make sure like your height is set to fit content. In most of your frames, make sure the height is set to fit content and the width set to fill. It's just for responsiveness. Let me change this to fit. Okay. Now push this up a little bit. Then let me add the bottom padding. Let me make the bottom padding 10. Let's see. No, I don't like 10. Let's make it 20. It's 20 enough. Let's increase a little bit so that it will go up more. Let's just leave it here. Now let me add a radius. I don't like how flat it is. Let me add a radius to it. Let me say 20 radius. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now this is this. We are talking now. Okay. Uh, at the top here, at the top, I want the text to be at the top here. The text should be like her saying, "Hey, I'm Lana." That's what I want. So the way I'll do that is I'll add a frame. Wait, I want to show you something. Since this frame, I'll add a div tag. I forgot to add this accessibility tag. Let me add a div tag to it. Every frame, not actually every frame, but I will show you frames that you add a div tag to. Okay, this one should be also a div tag. Okay. Remember, accessibility tags are very important in your templates. Now let's do that stuff I want to do. I'll add the frame. Now say, hey, I'm Lana. Good. Now let's put a text title to it. It's gonna be this. Put it in here and let me change this to title. Yeah, title. Now let's turn this into, let's make the height fits content and the width fits content so that it will hug the text, and let's add a little padding to it. Let's say I use 10. Is 10 not too big? No, it's too big. Let's make the top and the bottom 7. Then the right and left. Let's add a radius. Okay, looking good. Let's change the color to background and let's add a border. Let's say line 1 is the border. And let me change this text color to white. Alright. I think it's looking kind of good. And I did a description here. That just says after graphic design, then she just talk about herself. So I'm gonna be using DeepSeek for that. Oh, come on, man. One more step before I proceed. What step is that? Can you guys just get to the point and show me the step? I don't really have time for this. Let me check ChatGPT. That's still not here. Let's just use ChatGPT. That one is wasting time to close this stuff. Still not. Okay. Let's use ChatGPT. Let's hide the distractions. Okay, let's see. This is how I create my own content. Let me show you how I create my own content. I'm building a website template. Let's say a portfolio website template here. A portfolio website template. A portfolio website template here. Okay. For the use section, give me a description. I'll remove this. give me a description for mm, yeah, give me a description about what the uh, designer does. It's uh it's for the template. Okay, say the template is for a graphics designer, and these are, I guess, sure. And that's you. That video has given me a content. Okay. Is this not too long? Let's just copy from this one to this one. I don't want the other ones. Yes, copy from this to this. And let's go back. Let's add another test. That's it. Now let's add a test type. Body. That's it. Let's adjust this a little bit. Let's make it align to the center. Okay. And good. Now the next thing I want to add is a button. I want the button to be here. I just says book a call. The main button should just be here, book a call. I'm gonna be using, let's go back to the main button. I want to create another variant of button. This is the first variant. I want to create, I'll name this nav button because it's the one I use for the navigation. Now name this main button. So what I'll do is I want the top and bottom to be 10. I want this one to be 15. I should do it. Now let's change it. Now let's change the colors. Let's change the text color to this, the background to be white. And then let's remove the, okay. I should, I want the size to be much more longer. So let's just make it 20 instead of 15. Let's make the padding 20 instead of 15. Okay, much more longer. Okay. Now let's wrap this entire stuff inside a stack. I can't wrap into a stack. Okay. Let's just select from here, and then add stack. Now this will be the hero section, or hero section, or the header, and I'll add a tag to it. The tag will be header tag. So I've been designing this stuff outside of the breakpoint. Now to put it inside of the breakpoints, I will just put it inside. And now let me adjust it the way I want. I will change, let me make the width fill for responsive sake. And this one, also make this one fill. Then I'll add a maximum width to it. The maximum width I want it to get to is just 600. and 600. That should be it. I don't like this thing, the gap. Let me add 16 and see. 16 is too small. Let's say 24. Now we're talking. Now let's add the padding to it. Let's give it a breathing space. Okay, let's first of all let's make the height fit. Very, very important. And then let's add the padding to it. I'll add 100 for the top and 100 and the 100 for the bottom. Now we're getting there. Okay, this looks good. Now let's fix the tablet and the mobile version for responsiveness. Okay, I'm gonna go there and no, this should not be. Will this fix? Let's check. Oh, I don't want this to be. I don't want this to be long. Let's make it. I'll make the image width fixed so that it doesn't end. That's why it's affecting like this. Now let me adjust it here. Yeah, okay. 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 I think this is good. No, this is okay. Let's check if this is. Oh, that's why. That's why. Like most of your frames width need to be filled. Need to be set to fill due to like responsiveness. Like you can see, because this stuff is set to fixed here. That is why it's like this. That is does not look well on the tablet and on the mobile. Now, if I turn this stuff now to fill, then you can see now. Now looks okay. I thought I didn't add the padding, a left and right padding to this. So I'm gonna change this one to 64 and 64. Okay. Now this is 64 left and right padding is just for the desktop. I'm going to use a different padding for the tablet and for the mobile. So for the tablet, I want to use 32. Yeah, 32 works just fine. This looks good. Okay. This looks good. Okay, let's fix the mobile. I'll fix the tablet. Now it's time for me to fix the mobile. The mobile now will be set. I'll remove this sticky stuff and just put it as fixed. Because mobile does not have to be like the rest. And I'll make it come the top. And get over here. Now this stuff, I want it to be aligned like this. Yes. Let's adjust this. Oh no, let's just keep it like this. I think this looks. Let's remove this bottom padding because it's no longer useful here. Okay. Now this looks good. This looks good. I like this. Okay, I like this. Let's change the pad. Okay, the padding for the mobile, I want it to be 24 to 24. Okay. It looks good. Okay. I think this is for I've done the header version. Now let's do the other section. which will be, okay, it will be the project section. Just the way I designed this one, let's design the other one, the other section. I'll name it latest, latest project. I'll add the test title. The test title I want to add is header 2. Yes, header 2. Now let me import some the images I want to use for the project. I don't really want to use. I want to use CMS for this, but first of all, let me just put an image first. So it's gonna be okay. Let's check this stuff out. Okay, the size of the image, I want the size to be 577, and the height to be 433. Yeah. Now let's lock this stuff so that if I want to scale it, just scale together. I don't have to like, if it's not locked, to just, if I scale it, I can damage the size. Oh, come on. Okay. That's it. Alright. Now I want to use a CMS collection for this part, this latest project. So I'm going to be creating a CMS. But the reason I just want to, I already have a CMS here. Let me just delete stuff so I can create it from scratch. I don't need this CMSs. Okay. Now let's create a new one. Let's create a new CMS here. I want to create, and I'll name it project. Yeah. Okay, now I'll edit the field and put the field I need. Okay, I need the tablet. I need the title. I need the title. I don't need the content actually. I need the title and I need just 2 images. Or I just need 1 image. Just leave it at 1. 1 image. And that's it. So let's add the image. I'll call this one Cyan Shock. And the image I'm going to use is this image. And this is the alt text. I'm going to describe the image. This is going to be the product image. Okay, I've described the image. And that's it. That's also what I need. And I'll create another one again. I'll name this Ship It. And I'll use this image for it, this one. Name it product image. And that's it. These are the 2 stuff I just need. So what I'll do is I'll change this into the components. I'll change it to the let's say image / I've created an image folder now. Then I'll now say project image. Done. Project image. Done. Now let me just put in the image now. I won't be making use of this image, but just for this sake, let me just use a plugin for this. Or Splash. Why is everything wasting time now to do that? Come on. Didn't load. Let's try that one more time. Well, let's just cancel it. Then let me use one of my images. Let's just choose an image. We use this one. And that's it. Now let's add the tests. This is 7. Okay. Let's put this test here and let's get the test header 3. Yes, it should be the header 3. Let's make the color white, not white color. Let's add this. Let's turn it into a stack. I just turned it into a stack. I think I should make this. Let's leave it at header 2. Yeah, leave it at header 2. Now add another one, and this one I'll change the position type from relative to absolute. This is the reason why I changed it from relative to absolute, so that the stack will not affect this particular image. I can freely move this frame, but I cannot freely move this test, because the test is set to the type set to relative, while this one is absolute. So let's make everything. Let's make it cover the entire. Okay, I'll fix it. Don't worry. Make it dark and reduce this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now this test, I want this test to be on top this stuff. Let's name this shadow. I want this test to be on top the shadow, so I'm going to use Z index. This Z index, what it actually does is just the higher the number is, the higher ranking the element that has it is. Like if I say 2 now, if it's at 1, this one will be higher than it. If I just added the 2 to now be higher. So I don't necessarily want this test and this shadow to show. I only want it to show when someone hover on this card. First, let me add a navigation bar. Since this stuff is going to be leading me to somewhere else, I'm going to name it a button, because it is going to navigate me to the project. The reason why for this stuff is to navigate me to the project page. So I don't want this shadow and this text to show now. So I will reduce the opacity, create the overstage, and then increase the opacity. And that should be it. Now let me bring in the CMS I created. Close all this stuff. I don't need this stuff inside the CMS, so I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to put the component I created inside the CMS. I'm going to change the direction. And I'll lock this and then change the listing to field. Okay, I don't like how sharp these edges are, the corners are, so I'll add the radius to it. Let's use 20. Did I use 20? Let's use 20. Maybe we are 20. 20. Now I forgot something. Okay, what I forgot to do is to create a variable for the images and the text, so I can be able to edit the image and the text. So I'll create a variable for the image and then I'll create a variable for the test so I can be able to edit it. Now let's link this to the CMS. Set variable, and I'm going to link it to the CMS. See, now have the image, and then I will link this one to the title. So when we preview it, you'll see what I did. So that should be it for this one. I'm going to wrap this and this into a stack. Then I'll name it projects. Remember, every frame needs to have a name, not just any name. I'll make the padding 32. Yes, is it 32? Okay, now let's put it inside the design. I'll drag and drop it here. It's not inside the design. Now let's arrange it well. Reduce this stuff. This is too big. Okay, take it here. I'll make the frame, the width. I'll turn the width to fill, so it will reach the edge, and I'll turn the height to fit content. Okay, then I'll add padding to it. The padding I want to, first of all, this stuff. Okay, the CMS. Let's make the width also fill. Okay, good. Now this project I want to add a tag to it. The tag I will add to it will be called a section tab. Section tab. Now let's add, this is too close to the edge. Let's add padding to it. Like the other padding I use for desktop, 64. Okay, this is looking good. Let's edit the tablet. The padding I want to use for tablet is 32. Then I don't necessarily like this the breakpoint for this header too. Okay, here is 72. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 50, I think. Yeah, 50. Then for the mobile, I want to make it 40. Let's make it 40. Good. Okay. Now let's edit the mobile as well. Let's make it 24. And I want it to align like, okay, on the line vertically. Okay. Oh, the gap. I forgot to edit the gap. The gap here, I don't want it to be 20. I want it to be 20. Should I use 16 or 24? Let me use 24. Okay, 24, yeah. Yeah, 24. Then this one, this for the mobile, I want the top and bottom gap to be 48, while the side should be 24, 24. So I'm gonna make this 48 and 48. Okay, this is looking good. Yeah, I like this. Now let's move to the other section, which will be the about me. Okay, which will be the about me. Let's design it as well. First, I'm gonna use an image. Let me use this frame to create an image first. Okay. Let me choose the image I want to use. The image I want to use for this one is this image. This one. Okay, it's loading. I think the image is very, very large. That's why it takes this time to load. And let's say reduce the padding to 20. Okay. Now let's create another one. Let's, on this side, I write about me. And I want I'll add a text title. The text title will be header 2, heading 2. Now, yeah, I'm going to tell ChatGPT to create an about me session. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Okay. Load. Create an about. Okay, let's see. Give me an about me sentence. Sentence or statement. Let's say sentence. They will know what I mean. Make sure the words are less than 50 words. So I don't want it to give me like a long paragraph. I just want a simple sentence, not a long paragraph. 50, okay. Let's see what it gives me. No, it's too short. No, this is too short. Nah, it's too short. Make it a bit longer. It's too short, man. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm copying this back to my back to this, and then I will paste this. Let this okay. Then add a text title it, okay. And then I'll add a button. Yeah, another book called button. So let me just take this button I've created here, duplicate it. So I hold Alt to duplicate it while I drag and drop it here. Okay. Now let's wrap these three things inside the stack. I'll align it to the left. Good. The height need to be fit contents, and let's make the gap 24. Let's name it. Remember, name all your frame. I'm gonna name this about me. About me. Okay. I will give this a type tag. Okay, now as done this. Let's wrap these both of them inside a stack. Okay, I wrap it inside a stack. Okay, that's about it. So that's the way I want this design to look like. I want it to look different. So I'll name this about me. Also about me too. Now let's put this inside the design. I'll drag it and I'll drop it here. Then I'll drag it and drop it here. Make the width fill and the height fit. Make this one to the width fill. and the gap, I want the gap to be 64. Okay. Now, what I want to do here is I'm going to add a maximum width to this stuff. The maximum width I want to add is 120. Oh, I forgot to add maximum width to this one as well. So I'm going to do that. The maximum width I want to add there is 122. So that it does not get too long. But this other one, I want to wrap another frame in it. I want to add it to another frame. So what I'll do is I will add another stack to it. Then I will now color the stack. Let's use this color. Yeah, I'm liking this color. And then I will give it a gap. The gap I want to give it is 64. Yeah. Okay. Looks good. Looks cool. I also add another gap to this so that it will be much more spacious. So what gap should I add? 24. I'm going to add a 24 gap. Yeah, 24 gap. That should be it. Yes. Reduce this a little bit. Of course. Make this one and this stuff to be fill. Then that should be it. That should be it. Did I add the okay? Now let's name this again. About me again. Okay. Now let's add accessibility tab. Section should be. It should be section. Yeah, section. No, it should be. Now let me edit the. Let me edit the tablet. The tablet I want it to be 32, and let's remove this one for this. Also with this one, I want it to. The direction should be vertical. And let me repeat at 24. And then remove this one. Pardon. I'll change the gap. The gap, I'll move it to 48. Okay. Looking good. So the next one would be services. Yeah, the services page, services section. Let's edit the services section. After that, then that will be the end of this. This is just like for a short template. Let's add the services section. The services are. How do I go about this? Okay, now what? I'll figure it out. Then okay. Okay. Pardon me for the delay. I'm trying to figure out how I will go about this stuff. Okay. So the services section, I'm going to be offering two services. So the first one will, you know what? Why don't we just ask ChatGPT to create one for us? Right? So I'm going to say, dude, now create two services for me. The services should have a title and a description and a price. The description should be less than 20 words. I don't want it to be long. I just want a short description. 20 words. Let's see what it creates for me. Okay. I said 2. Okay. Yeah. Brand identity design and social media graphics. I think that should be it. That should be it. So let's take the first one. Brand identity design. The price is $800. Let's say $800. Brand identity design. Okay. So let's put it like this. Increase a little bit. I want this one to be the heading 4. Yeah. Heading 4. I want the color to be white. And then the price. The price should be okay. I want to use this stuff for the design, this stuff for the pricing. I like this stuff, drag the details. I want to use it for the pricing. So I will name it price. And I will change the color for this one to background 2 and the line 2. And the price should be, the price is $800, right? Yeah, $800. I'm going to wrap both of these stuff into a stack. The distribute, I want to make the distribute to space between, and I'll name it name and price. Now for the okay, put this stuff to fill. Or let's just make it in center. But since I'll make this stuff fill, it will just push this one to the edge so that I can have a little bit gap here. So what's the second one? The description is crafting logos to tailor to your business. Copy that. Go back to the design. Turn this into a body. Okay. And move this text. Move the color. Okay. Now I want 2 buttons to be here. I want one to be start now, and I want one to be chat. 2 buttons. So I would copy this button here. But I'm going to create another style of button because the button I want to have to be here. I don't want the radius to be this big. So because this button doesn't have an overstate too. Thank God I noticed it. Now let me add an overstate in the way. I'll reduce the opacity because I want it when someone over on this button, the opacity should reduce. Then I also create a press state. This press state is just for the mobile version. Understand? Then I'll create another one I will name this one, I will name it services button. Services button. Then I'll make the radius. I just want to change the radius. That's why I'm creating this button. Or do I really need to do that? Because I don't necessarily need to do this. I can just create a radius variable. Yeah. So if I do this, I can just change the radius. Yeah. So I just make it. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So let's duplicate this button. Now let me change this color. I want the color of the button to be different. I don't want it to be the same. So this one will be white. The text will be white. The background will be this color, and the to be like this. Now I will now wrap the both of these into a stack. Name the stack buttons. And then the two buttons, I want the width to be filled, so the two can just stretch together. And now you see the reason why so that it can be like this. That's why I use that fill. Okay. Now just wrap everything into a stack. Wrap it with a stack. Then I will name it the services. Services card. Align it to the left. This text, make the width to be filled. Make this one width to be filled, and then the height to be fixed. And this one to on the width to be filled, and that's. I will not be charging my laptop. Give me a second. Alright, so yeah, I have to plug my laptop. So back to the design. Okay. Change this height to fit content. Let me add the little padding to it. Let me add padding to it to give it space. Let's say 20 padding. 20 padding should be okay. Add the border to it. Shift this. Okay. Now add the radius to it. Alright, let's make the radius 20. Yeah, 20, and I'll add a fill. Yes, I'll use this color. Okay. So this is not fit content. Make it fit. It's this. I don't like let's make this padding for this price. Let's keep the padding at 5. 5. Yeah, I think 5 is okay. Yeah, I think 5 is okay. Yeah. I think this body, the height, the line height a little bit, yeah. I think should be this, yeah. Okay, it looks good now. So as you know, before I do that, I don't this gap. The gap is too. Let's see, 24 works. Yeah, 24 works. This one, let's see. Let's make it 24 as well. No, let's leave it as 16. Let's make it 16. If you notice, I'm using consistent like padding and spacing. Most of the padding I'm using is either 64, 20, 32, 64, 32, 24, and 20. These are the 4 padding I'm using. The 4 and different padding that I use. What's up, man? This is the network. So I'm using consistent padding and consistent spacing because if I use too many different types of padding and spacing, it will just make the work look rampant and inconsistent. And Framer hates inconsistent design. So since I'm going to be this services section, I actually have two services. That means I'm going to use this design twice. So since I want to be using it twice, to ensure consistency, I've just turned it into a component so that I can use it twice without like affecting the entire design. So I will turn it into a component. Let me create card slash service card. Now I'll create a variable for each of these so that I can edit it. Create a variable for this one. I'll name it title. Variable for this, I'll name it price. Good. Variable for this, I'll name it description. Then I'll name the title for this one. I'll name it button one title. I'll name this one button two title. And for the link, oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry. I'm supposed to add a link to this button so that, oh God, create a link. Okay, I'll create a variable link, a variable for the link, and I've just created it. So the button, I'll create this one. I'll call it button one link, and I'll call this one button two link. And I think that should be it. That's the design right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and duplicate it. Now let's put the other services. The other one is social media graphics. Social media graphics. Social media graphics. Change it title. Social media graphics. The description should be designing, and the price is 300. So description, the price is 300. And I want the button one title should be start now, and this one should be charts. Let's do the same thing for this one. Start now. This one should be charts. Okay, that's good. Now let's bring down this one. This one should be services. So I'm going to group these two group these two into I'll put the two of them into a stack, and I'll name the stack services. Services. Make the and this stuff I'll make their two width to be filled. Yeah. And the gap should be 24. That's the gap I usually use for most of them. 24. And then I'll now group these two into a stack. I keep using a shortcut because I'm used to it, but pardon me for that. So height, I'll make the height fit content, and the what cap should I use for this one? Okay, I use 32. Okay, cool. I'll use 32 for this one as well. Now let's put it inside the design. Close all this stuff. Let's name it services. And let's put it inside the design. Okay. I'll make the width to be filled. There, right? What's wrong with this one now? Okay. Make the width to be filled. Add a little gap. Let's switch the network and see if the other one is better than this one now. Okay. We'll make this this one filled, yeah. Okay. And then this one I'll now add the padding to it. The padding will be 64, just like the rest of it. And then I'll add a tag to it. The tag would be section tag, and I'll add a maximum width to it. 120 should be the maximum here. 100 should be the maximum. And that should be about it. Let's fix this. Well, let's fix the tablet. 32 should be the padding. And then this one should be 24. And then I'll align it to be vertical. Okay. No, the padding should be the up and bottom should be 48, 48 here. I forgot. I think I should do it for this one too. 48, 48 here, not 48, 48. So I give it a little bit more space. Okay. I think I'm done there. All that remains is just the footer. So I won't design the footer. I'll just use Framer's footer. Let's see Framer. Let's read a footer section here. Should be the footer section. Figma doesn't have a footer. That's odd. Well, I don't know because I don't normally use their footer. They don't. Let's check if I have a footer page here. They actually don't. Okay. I think that leaves me to design the footer from scratch. I think so. But the footer won't be that big of a deal because I will just make it very, very simple. I won't make the footer that big of a deal. So the footer will just be just like this one. It will just be like navigation bar. So I'm just going to add the frame. Just like navigation bar, nothing more. So I'm just going to come here and copy this entire stuff here. Just copy this stuff. These two stuff. Copy it, Ctrl C. And go over here. Change this stuff to this color. And then add it there. Yeah, I'll move this button because I don't need this button. Okay. This is what I want. Yeah. I'll name it footer. Footer. Now I'll now paste it. Let's put it inside the design. So I'll make it add a stack then and the distribute. I'll put the distributor space between. That's what I did here. Make the width fill and then add the same padding I added. I'll add a 20 padding for the top, 15 padding for the bottom. Then for the left and right, I'll make it 64. Yeah, that should just be it. 64, and okay. I'll come here. Make this one 32, so that 32. So that it's the same pattern with every last stuff. This one I'll make it 24. And I think that's it. That is the okay. There's one thing I need to like let you know. This stuff is this and sticky position here. It will not work if the parent frame, the overflow is set to hidden. So in order for you to make it work, it needs to be set to visible for it to work. And I want it to be above every other stuff. So the easy index, I want the easy index to be 10. So it will be above every other stuff. I think that's it. Now let's preview what we just did. Wow. Okay, it's loading. Okay, now this is all we just did right now. As you can see, the buttons are working. If I go over here, so you can see every other stuff is working. Even this one. So this is just like a rough. Because it usually takes me a lot of time for if I want to design a template, it takes me a longer period of time to design it. Because actually I take a lot of time in planning it, and I do a lot of cross checking. So the post-Figma their standards are too high. So actually it takes more time for me to review it and make sure everything is on point. But this is just like, I just want to show you how I do my own stuff, how I like get my content, how I arrange it, and how I place them. That's the point of this. So I believe with this you just have a glimpse of how I design my own templates. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to know like you just need to know the basics. Just things. So you just need to know how Figma work. To remember to add the tags, to use tag for most of the things. For responsiveness, remember to use field for the width and fit content for the height. And make sure to plan out your text styles and your color style before you start your design. You need to plan everything well, what you will use and what you will not use, and just simple as that. I'll I think I like this design. I actually really like this design. So I'll just do a little polishing before this course will come out. You will see this design on the marketplace. That's the promise. Before this course will come out, this design will be on the marketplace. But that's just it for today's video. Thank you for staying this long and going on, enjoying the ride with me. It was kind of fun. This is my first time recording how to design a template live. This is my first time. So thank you for being here with me. And on the next module, I'll be talking about I'll be explaining the components well for you. I'll be explaining the color styles well, text styles well. One thing you need to know about color styles is that I can just change of a button and click. I can just turn this design from a dark theme to a light theme with color style. So in the next module, I'll be talking about all those, how to design well for impact. Oh, why does my laptop? But by the way, I'm already done with the video. So thanks for being here with me. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.